Hello and welcome back once again. Today we'll be looking at the commonly misunderstood Autobots. Now, before we begin, I'd like to introduce a new member of the crew, Professor Not a Nazi. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Professor Not a Nazi, and I will be bringing you more scientific facts on the creatures we observe.
I know what you're thinking. Why do we need this bloated egghead here? But the studio said we needed one.
I can still hear you, Roku.
I know you can, Professor. I know you can.
I will ignore that for now. Let us begin. The typical day for an Autobot starts with an inspection of his home nest. Watch as he goes inch by inch inspecting every single portion. We see him checking for weaknesses on all sides, as well as ensuring that no predators have entered. For an Autobot, the home nest is key. And once the inspection is done, the Autobot will set out and search for food.
Right you are, Professor. Now, the Autobot is very cautious first thing in the day. It looks both ways before emerging from its hole. But with its stomach growling, it must set out. After several hours of hunting, our young Autobot has picked up the trail of young prey. You can almost hear his stomach growl as he moves closer and closer, finally finding his prey and striking. But this prey isn't giving up without a fight. Watch as it goes into full sprint, leaving the Autobots trailing behind. And try as he might, our young Autobot just isn't quick enough to catch it. The chase goes on for nearly an hour. Surely by now, the Autobots, or its prey, is about to collapse.
Actually, you will be surprised to learn that the average Autobots can run 700 kilometers each day.
No one asked you, Professor, but as we can see here, the prey has given up, and in a last-ditch effort, it refuses to become food for the Autobots. This leaves our subject hungry and angry, as he once more has to set out for food. But no sooner than he starts looking, does he pick up the trail yet again. And he hopes this time the prey won't be quite as quick.
Now, as we can plainly see, the Autobots is not the only creature hunting in this area. This will mean that food is very scarce.
Whatever you say, Professor, but our guy here strikes down two foes back to back, and just like that, finally gets some food. Now that he's filled up his stomach, hunting becomes all about the sport. Off in the distance, he spots a group of males bucking heads. He quietly sneaks up, and then joins in for the fun.
You know, it is not all about fun for the Autobots. These fights, as you call them, are actually shows of maturity. It is like a big flaming sign that says, "Here I am, strong and proud."
Yeah, that's not the only thing flaming.
What was that?
Nothing, Professor, nothing. Now here we can see the Autobot ducking and weaving, dodging attacks, all while throwing some of his own. And finally, when all is said and done, the Autobot is swift with his kills, taking out two foes in a single strike. And before the blood even falls, he's on to the next victim. This kind of destructive pattern will continue for days on end. Victim after victim will fall to his power.
You know, scientists believe that the Autobot is responsible for over 17 species going extinct.
I'm sure it wears that like a badge on its chest.
Genocide is not a laughing matter.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd know that, Professor.
For the last time, my last name is Not a Nazi. Not a Nazi. Not a Nazi.
Real subtle, Professor. Real subtle. But back to our boy here, you can see he is quickly taking down everyone that stands in his path, leaving only just a few left to fight.
Now, it is important to know that the Autobot has 3 different built-in evolved mechanisms for fighting. You have already seen the first 2, but here you can plainly see his ability to call in allies.
And those guys mean business. When the Autobot is this desperate to call in reinforcements, you better believe that he's going in for the kill. Before he can even figure out which one's the biggest threat, it's all over and our young Autobot sits victorious.
And so we leave him as he returns back to his nest. Today he was victorious, but tomorrow, only time will tell.
I'm sure he'll be just fine. Thank you for watching another episode of Hypixel Geographic. This has been Roku and Professor Not a Nazi. Thanks for watching.